Today is going to be a really amazing video, and I want to share with you a lot of inside stuff to what's been happening and how I built a seven-figure brand over many, many years. Now, I am not one to boast. I'm not one to brag. I actually hate and am really the complete opposite of a lot of people who have achieved any sort of success where they're constantly flaunting, whatever they're flaunting, they kind of just throw it in your face. I've been the opposite to where I don't really share anything. And it's not like I'm super rich or anything like that. I'm still grinding and working, but what I have done is built a brand and a business based off of hard work, dedication, passion, and real world credibility. That's the one thing I think nowadays that is missing and lacking in a lot of brands, especially in the influencer / hair care space. Now, many of you may know, and I've talked about this a bunch of times, but there are, new hair care, quote unquote, brands or influencers popping up left and right. And many of them have the same story, which I find very unique, where I used to, buy products at the drugstore, and they were just filled with chemicals, and I hated how they made my hair feel, and blah, blah. I'm like, well, why are you buying hair products at a drugstore? I mean, are drugstores known for selling the best quality hair products? Not necessarily. However, on the flip side, as someone who has actually been in the professional salon industry for over 30 years, there are a lot of professional lines in drugstores. However, a lot of them are what we call as diverted. They're backdoored, which means that there's distributors and people selling stuff out of their trunks or, diverting it from going right to these retailers and drugstores where they're like getting used products or old products or, ones that are expired, and they're backdooring them just to get them into these locations to make money. And, I've worked for two of the largest hair and beauty companies in the world. I've worked for L'Oreal Professional and Paul Mitchell. And I learned so much about hair care and the hair industry and branding and public speaking that I was so fortunate to have worked for those companies. Now, the one thing I did learn is that a lot of companies may say, oh, we only sell to professional salons. And I used to question, well, how is it that you say that, but then all of your products are in drugstores? I don't get that. And I would hear all sorts of rumors to where, yes, why would a company turn away, 18 or like $100 million or $50 million in sales direct to a drugstore? Why would they do that? So they were doing it kind of like on a hush-hush without anyone knowing. But then why would you publicly say we only sell to salons? So that's where the backdoor stuff, that's where people getting their hands on products, different layers of sales to where it eventually ends up at a drugstore where it shouldn't really be there. So yes, you can find professional products in drugstores. Doesn't mean they're the best quality. No. I mean, they just have a brand name that people recognize, and they can be loaded with awful ingredients for your hair. But however, on the flip side, there are a lot of brands who are coming out of nowhere just because of that same excuse to where I've never, I'm tired of buying products with bad chemicals. I'm like, okay, we've heard that 86 million times already. What do you bring to the table? What is your background? None of them have a background in hair. None of them have any sort of experience as a hairstylist, a barber, nothing. And if they do, it's like, oh, I did hair in prison. I was a barber in prison, or a beauty school dropout, or a barber school dropout, or this or that. It's like, okay, that's cool, man. Everyone's life is their life. But I think nowadays, and the one thing that's helped me was the fact that I am very, very credible, and I've dedicated most of my life to the professional salon industry, working on thousands of clients, working in salons, working for major companies, traveling and training, overseas, and putting the time and effort in, educating thousands of hairstylists, going into hundreds and hundreds of salons. There's a lot of credibility and authenticity behind me, the salon guy. And I think even though it's very challenging nowadays, and a lot of people are buying into, at least younger kids are buying into TikToker hair brands and people who just have nice hair and abs, they're just buying into that when they have no sort of experience whatsoever. People are being bought into that, and they're being brainwashed by people who aren't even a professional. So what I think has helped me build up my brand is the fact that I've actually been out there, right? I've been on television, I've been in magazines, I've been to red carpet events, I've interviewed dozens and dozens of celebrities, fashion shows, and all sorts of stuff that has helped me build up my brand to get to where I'm in the long play. And I've been patient for a long time. I started the Salon Guy about 15 years ago. And I always tell people, and you've heard this before, patience is really, really important. People aren't patient. People expect to become successful within 2 or 3 months, where I've been patient for 15, 16 years of starting the Salon Guy. And then overall, I've been in the industry for about 30 years or so. So, being patient is something that is really, really not easy. And you have to have a clear vision on where you want to go, what really is your brand. And to me, brand is about taste. It's really what it comes down to. It's a matter of taste. If you're going to purchase brand X versus brand Y, why are you doing it? Is it just because of cost? Is it because you idolize some kid who's got like nice abs and fluffy hair? I mean, why are you purchasing it? So that's another thing I think that I'm in it for the long haul, and I haven't given up. It's brutal. It is brutal building a brand, not giving up, having that patience, having that core value of motivating yourself on a day-to-day basis. I had a major tragedy in my life when my mother, rest her soul, a woman who adopted me at a very young age, when she passed away. I was like, wow. I mean, this is a woman who adopted me as a widow, and she raised me in a great, beautiful family, and gave me everything. But I also learned that I had to work. Never sit on your butt. Always have a job. Like, she would really grill me, and it was when she passed, I was like, I want to take the strength and courage she had and do something for myself, but also something that would make her proud. Now, mind you, I was already in the hair industry. So it's not like I just came up with some excuse of like, oh, my cat died, so I want to start a hair product line. It's like I was already in the beauty industry and the hair industry, grinding, and then I watched a YouTube video by Gary Vaynerchuk, and I'll get into that in a few minutes. But Gary Vaynerchuk, and the video was, talking about stop doing stuff you hate, and it was so impactful because of the way he presented it that I was like, whoa, this guy's like pretty intense, like the way he speaks to people. And I read his book called Crush It, How to Turn Your Passion into a Business, which is what he was doing with wine. He created a wine show, Wine Library, which is a store in Springfield, New Jersey. And I read that book, Crush It. And literally I followed it step by step. And I was one of the first people in the salon industry to create a brand, become a media personality, and then level it to where it became. When I was probably the only one, and still to this day, the only hairstylist who's done the things that I've done, interviewed the people that I've interviewed, been to the places I've been to, been on the things I've been on, and that's all because of being very, very specific and targeted and strategic. Now, mind you, the first, I'd say 5 or 6 years of starting the Salon Guy, I had no idea how to make money, because to me, I was like still working in a salon. That's how I was making money. And I was, DJing. I used to be a nightclub DJ, so I was DJing and, making money. But at the same time, I wasn't like sure how to monetize the Salon Guy as a brand until I had a couple of big companies, big beauty companies, professional beauty companies come to me and say, hey, could we hire you to do what you do? Like, we want you to be our host, like create event videos and you be the host of the video. Like, you're on scene and you're this or that. You're, kind of like what Ryan Seacrest does. And that's who I was looking up to at the time. I want to be like Ryan Seacrest. So I did that. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually a business. And that is what got me into production. That's what got me into, investing in camera gear, learning how to edit, learning the whole, director side of things, or production side of things, creating content, like all of that. And this was early on in the game, like a long time ago. 10 plus, 12 plus years ago. And then I went into the hair product route. And I've made videos on that. I'm not going to get into that, but I've already made videos on the whole hair product journey and stuff like that. But fast forwarding to Gary Vaynerchuk, he put me in his second to most recent book called Crushing It. And that is something that I was like blown away. There's actually, you can see here in my highlight reel on YouTube, Gary asking me live on one of his shows he was doing. He said, Stephen, I want to have you part of this book. And it was an honor. And then I wrote a book and he wrote me a quote for the book too. So I think I'm one of two people he follows in the hair industry. One, he follows a barber, and then me. So it's crazy. But yeah, so I've built up a business based off of brand integrity, professionalism, credibility, passion for my products and what I do. And it's been something that is a very, very, it's been a long journey. Also spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on ads with Amazon. Amazon now has become my primary source of revenue as far as my products go. And then it's Shopify and then YouTube and, things like that. And I used to make a lot more money doing creative production work, and people would hire me to do stuff like that. That's why I have hundreds of thousands of dollars of camera gear. I have literally, there's a red camera sitting over there. I've got Canon cinema cameras. My studio is basically like B&H Photo. Okay, I have so much gear, but I'm very, very passionate about creating content and the technology. So I've been able to build a business where, yes, I broke 7 figures, and it's all through just product sales and hard work and having people believe in what I have to offer, which is a great quality hair care brand that every product I test, I make sure that I'm basically approving it, because if there's a product that I don't like as a true real world hair professional, I'm not going to launch it. All right? So you're getting that 30 plus years of working on thousands and thousands of heads and clients. I want these products to perform as if you were a real hair professional as well. And that's what makes it different too, is that, they're very user friendly, but they really perform when you're technically just as good too. And that's why I have over 3,000 videos on YouTube that you can watch. And the amount of people who tell me, they leave comments, "Oh, Salon Guy, I've watched your videos and I cut hair to my family, my friends, and I do better haircuts than the professionals I was going to, and no one could cut my hair, and thank you so much." And that means the world to me. All I ask is you buy my products, maybe buy my hair tools, subscribe to my YouTube channel, whatever it is. I really appreciate all the support, because you're supporting an entrepreneur, right? I was never handed anything. I never had any investor come in. I've been posting almost 5 days a week on YouTube for years. I'm in it. I'm in the trenches. So I'm not just some 21-year-old influencer living in LA, buddies with 5 other influencers in some sort of TikTok house, whatever it is. That's not what I do. You know what I mean? So also I'm a lot older. I'm double the age of most of these people. So what I want to talk about now is some of the things that I've been working on that I think can be very beneficial to you. One, you probably don't know this. If you do, that's amazing. But I've launched my second book. It's called Why, What, How. There's a hardcover, the soft cover, and I have a Kindle version of this book. And the link will be in the card and also in the description. A Kindle version for 99 cents, under $1. This book is the why, the what, and the how to building a brand for yourself. This is going to be your handbook. I've read dozens upon dozens of business books, marketing books, motivational books, audio books, and so many of them take forever to get to the point. This is a book where it's a short read, but it's a pretty hardcore heavy read, and it's so tactical that I said, I don't want to waste people's time. I don't want to tell stories about how I played soccer for 7 years as a kid, or how I grew up playing with my, beagle dog, when I was a kid, like, and then get into it. No, I wanted to get right into the tactics, the techniques. So this book is all about the why do you want to do what you want to do? What are you going to do? And then how are you going to do it? If you can answer those 3 questions in anything you do in life, with business, with entrepreneurship, this is going to be your flow. This is going to be your strategy, your game plan, your execution, your roadmap to getting to where you need to get. Why, what, how. Most people get stuck on the how because it's fairly easy to find out why do you want to do what you want to do? Like literally, why do you want to do it? And then what are you going to do? Like what actually are you going to do to build a brand for yourself? Where people go wrong is the how, because that's the actual physical product or the thing you're selling or the thing you're promoting. A lot of people fall short on the how because they just don't have the right creative assets. They maybe don't have this on-camera skills. They don't have the presentation skills. Whatever it is, usually the how is what falls short. This book is your tactical handbook. And I am telling you, for 99 cents, if I've done anything for you, I would appreciate spending less than $1 on a book that is going to change your life. And again, it's a very, very, very tactical book where, you could see there's like all sorts of pages with diagrams, it's like a workbook. It's like a go-to workbook that will change your life. If I told you 99 cents can generate hundreds of thousands of dollars for you, would you invest in that? Well, here you go, right here. Why, what, how? It also became a #1 bestseller on Amazon. I hit the #1 bestseller mark, and if you go to Amazon, you'll see on the cover, I've got the #1 bestseller mark there on the book. And from when it did hit #1 bestseller, it actually outsold Alex Hormozy and Russell Brunson's 2 best-selling books. So, check it out. I would strongly suggest checking out the Why, What, How book. It would mean the world to me for 99 cents. And then, I'm always on the mission to expand my own offerings. Like I've created digital handbooks, downloadable digital PDF books based off of haircut shapes and what face shapes work best with those haircut shapes. $10 each, one for men's hair, one for women's hair. I've been embracing a lot of new technology with creating models and images that I'm investing a lot of money in to be able to create content and create haircuts and styles that you can't just find these people off the streets. I also created, I think, probably the first ever AI hair advisory website called hairadvisor.ai. I created that, I think it's been a year now, where you literally, and it costs you nothing. You go on hairadvisor.ai and you simply ask HairAdvisor a question, a hair-related question. It'll then populate and generate an answer. It'll give you product suggestions, YouTube video suggestions, hair salon or barbershop recommendations of what's in the area, images. I mean, it's actually mind-blowing. And I think I'm the first in the hair industry to create something like this. And I've had it for over a year now, I believe, and that also cost me a lot of money. So what I'm really trying to do is, share that I have a lot of passion for what I do. I'm trying to stay on the cutting edge. I want to create content. Like making this video for me, just sitting down here is so relaxing and so peaceful to me because all I do is hair tutorials. And I know that's what people want to see, but there's people making $3 million a month giving the same advice on marketing and social media and branding that I'm doing right here. And I'm not even charging for it. I don't understand how they're doing it. They offer all these courses, which is another thing. I have some courses, haircutting courses, social media courses. If you're a hair professional or you want to learn how to cut hair a certain way, I have got a few courses, courses.thesalonguy.com, that are really targeted to helping you as a hair professional. Or if you want to learn certain haircuts, even not as a hair professional, and they're all very, very affordable. But, there's people giving the same advice that I'm doing, and even what's in this book, making millions of dollars a month selling courses and sharing information that I'm already doing and I've been doing like before they were even like in high school. So I think it's really enjoyable to make this type of content. And again, I know this may not be what you want to see. However, this is something that makes me happy. And I really hope that through this messaging that you will get something out of this. You'll support me by spending 99 cents on a Kindle version, right? An ebook on Amazon, 99 cents. That'll help inspire you and change your mindset of how to be more passionate, how to be, an entrepreneur, how to understand the why, what, and how of what you do. You'll maybe buy some of my digital download books, my ebooks. Maybe you'll purchase some of my hair products, my hair tools. Whatever it is, I have a large umbrella of offerings that I've created, and that's what's helped me build up the business that I've built up. And I'm like here. I want to be here. Like I want to keep growing, but I'm not going to do it in a very flashy or scammy way by, it's just what I see out there and how these people are still making money and being so successful. It just shocks me. And I never want to be like that. And maybe it's hurting me because I'm not like that, because I'm not scamming people or trying to brainwash them. That's just not who I am. So for all of you who are the real OGs, have been around for many, many years, because I've been on YouTube for almost 16 years now. So for a lot of you OGs and people who have been supporting me, you're the unspoken ones. A lot of you don't even say anything, but I'll get messages or emails from you like you're the ones purchasing my products, you're the ones supporting the brand. And it means the world to me. If I can shake all of your hands or give you a hug or whatever, I will, and I'm doing it right now. So I really, really appreciate all of your support. One thing I really want to hit on again, I'm sorry, 99 cents. And I'm getting such amazing reviews. I've had a recent spike in reviews on the books. You can read all the reviews on Amazon, but that would really, if I see a short spike, that would mean a lot to me. So I really appreciate you watching this. Again, I don't care if I get three views on this or one like. That's how I started. If I can inspire one person, I'm onto something. So one person was like, Steven, like Salon Guy, you're awesome. Like, I like your videos. They're so motivational. That was it 16 years ago. So one person was my goal. I have a goal of one, even on this video. So if I can inspire one of you, it will mean the world to me. And if you like these types of videos on entrepreneurship and building a brand from a real authentic point of view, from someone who's been in the trenches as like I mentioned, guess what, a real hairstylist, then let me know. So thank you all. It means the world to me. Share your comments down below. Like the video. Subscribe. I'll see you soon.